It's funny we're talking about this. I think it was a few days ago. I was watching like a video of like a big ship. The video was shot from the actual cruise ship or something, and you see the small little tiny pirate boat show up, and the first thing you think to yourself is the guts these pirates must have to show up on this little tiny thing against this gigantic cruise ship. But what I guess is the once they're on the ship, it's like it's a different game. It's just getting on the ship, which is why it doesn't really matter how big their thing is. But that's the first thing. But then there were armed security on the cruise, and they were like shooting. It was like a real video on YouTube. So have pirates not figured out? Is there a reason they just keep doing it like they've always have, or did they not figure out a better way? Because from my perspective, they showed up. It was like this tiny little thing. You could barely see it. Is there a reason for them sticking with that crazy way of doing things? Is that just how it's always been done? Is there no thinking behind it?
Could I hazard a guess?
Yeah, hazard a guess.
Okay, I hazard a guess. I'm not an expert in any form or fashion, but if you're going to be a pirate, you have to be willing to lose. They're not dumb about it. They know the risks, I would presume. So you either have to be very wealthy and willing to lose a little, or completely destitute and because you have nothing actually to lose. So if you're in a tiny boat attacking a giant cruise ship, it's because you had nothing better to do, actually. This would be my guess, to put that on the line.
It's like straight up suicide.
Well,
it can be. It's actually
risk reward.
Yeah, because then you get the whole...
And if you say, I mean, maybe you were in a fisherman's village or something, or a fishing village, and now there's no fish. What are you going to do on the East Coast?
So you're
of
saying
East
these people
Africa?
are hungry.
Maybe. But I hazard my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just very wealthy people trying to get wealthier the easy way by commissioning people who are already broken in a bad neighborhood and have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I don't know,
common
it just caught me
crime formula in the world.
Caught me by surprise. The contrast between, because nowhere else in the world, when I think about, people robbing people or, someone taking something from someone, I'm trying to think of another situation in the world where it's common for the person taking to be so small relative to the one they're taking from, which is really interesting.
Okay, so I've hazarded my guess. How far off am I?
You're not too far off, honestly, but it's kind of like individual cases. So there were lots of pirates, both then and now, that did sail on much smaller boats. And this could work to some pirates' advantage because they're faster. They're able to kind of maneuver a lot quicker, whereas large ships are slower. They can be fast as well, but they're going to be much slower at maneuvering.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So
they're
sneak
more
up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they can sneak up. Now, at the same time, pirates usually wanted a very large ship because then they could be really powerful and get the other ship to surrender very quickly. So that's always a big goal. Today, with these smaller ships we're seeing, again, I'm hazarding kind of what I know. International maritime law is very, very complicated, especially when it comes to aggression. So there are lots of ships out there, like cargo ships or cruise ships, that do have armed security. But a lot of times the ships themselves are not outfitted with weapons to attack another ship, because depending on where that is in international waters, one country could declare it to be a massive act of aggression against another. So it's very complicated. And this is why cruise ships can get attacked, because these guys are coming on with machine guns. And aside from the security guards, these cruise ships don't really have much mechanization for actually defending themselves before the pirates can get on there. In the film Captain Phillips, you see that the cargo ship has large water cannons. So they're pouring loads of water from these cannons off the ship with the intention of breaking up the water so that way they won't be able to get close enough to the cargo ship to actually climb aboard. But
Interesting.
yeah.